Sit down, Tessa. Nathan Cross is sitting in the dark. Just city lights and the glow of his laptop. He turns the screen toward me. It's showing every file I stole, every piece of evidence I copied. "You've been busy," he says. $2.1 billion. That's what he's worth. And he stole $8.4 billion from 50,000 customers to get there. I know because I found the transfers, the shell companies, the offshore accounts, all of it. He slides a document across the desk. Severance agreement, $2 million in exchange for my silence. "You take this, you walk away clean, rich, or I bury you. Corporate espionage, theft of trade secrets, you'll never work again. $2 million, or a life of litigation and poverty." I stand up. I'm not signing. 6 hours later, the FBI raids his office. Agents in windbreakers, Nathan in handcuffs, $8 billion in fraud, the biggest crypto collapse since FTX. He got 18 months in prison, out on good behavior. I got blacklisted from finance, sued for $25 million. Haven't worked in my field in 2 years. He's still a billionaire. I make $42,000 a year at a legal aid clinic. But to understand how I ended up here, how I went from making $240,000 a year to exposing the man on the cover of Forbes, you need to know what I found at 2:13 a.m. The number was wrong, not off by thousands, off by billions. 2:13 a.m. I'm staring at the liquidity stress test results. Total customer deposits, $42 billion. Available liquidity, $33.6 billion. I recalculate manually, still short. I'm $8.4 billion missing. I open the emergency backup wallet, the one that's supposed to have $5 billion in reserve for exactly this scenario. Balance, $0.00. That's when I know. We're not illiquid, we're insolvent. And in 6 hours, there's a liquidity call scheduled, a call I wasn't invited to. The CFO didn't forget to add me. They deliberately left me out because they already know. They've known for weeks, maybe months. I click into the routing ledger, the restricted tab I'm not supposed to have access to, mass transfers, hundreds of them, from customer deposit wallets to a single destination. Wallet tagged Strategic Reserve B. I search that wallet in our internal system, linked entity Chimera Capital Management. I search Chimera Capital. It's the CEO's private hedge fund. And the one he told investors was completely separate from customer funds. The one that's been bleeding money for 8 months straight. We didn't lose the money. We moved it, deliberately, systematically, illegally. My screen goes black. System logged out. Access revoked from liquidity tab. I didn't tell anyone what I found. I didn't even take screenshots. How do they know? IT message pops up. Routine permission update. There's nothing routine about this. Slack notification. My supervisor. Come see me first thing tomorrow morning. They're watching. They know I know. And I have 9 hours to decide what I'm going to do about it. But to understand the full picture, you need to know how perfect this job looked 6 months ago. How long it took me to see what I was really working for. 6 months earlier, I'm drowning. I'm literally drowning in debt. NYU Stern MBA, $180,000 in student loans. Interest compounding daily. My studio apartment in Queens costs $2,000 a month. My salary as a junior analyst at a mid-tier hedge fund, $65,000 before taxes. The math doesn't work. It's never going to work. I'm 28 years old and I've accepted I'll die in debt. Then the email comes. Orion Capital wants to interview me for Director of Risk Analytics. Base salary, $240,000. Signing bonus, $100,000. Full benefits, equity package. It's more money than my parents made combined in their best year. The interview is 3 days later. I meet with the head of HR, the CFO, and then him, Nathan Cross, 34 years old, Forbes 30 under 30. Me built Orion Capital from nothing to $15 billion in assets under management in 6 years. Crypto trading platform. He's wearing a hoodie that probably costs more than my rent. Speaks in this quiet, intense way, like he's sharing secrets. He asks me one question. Tell me about a time you caught something everyone else missed. I tell him about the accounting error I found at my last job. Small thing, $60,000 discrepancy in a derivatives portfolio. My boss told me to let it go. I didn't. Turned out it was the first sign of a $7 million hole. Saved the firm. Nathan leans forward. That's exactly what I need. Someone who doesn't let things go. Someone who sees what others miss. This industry is full of people who look the other way because it's easier. I need someone who can't do that. Someone with a conscience. He offers me the job before I leave the building. The NDAI sign is 43 pages. I'm too excited to read it carefully. There's a non-disparagement clause, a non-compete, something about intellectual property. I sign. The signing bonus hits my account the next day. $100,000. I pay off my credit cards, send my parents $5,000. I can breathe for the first time in 4 years. My first day, the office is in Tribeca. Floor-to-ceiling windows, view of the Hudson. My office has a Herman Miller chair worth $1,200, dual monitors, top-of-the-line everything. The kitchen has a full-time chef. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, all free. Snacks imported from Japan. Kombucha on tap. The gym has a Peloton and a sauna. I meet the team. Everyone's young, sharp, Ivy League or Stanford or MIT. And everyone's working 80-hour weeks and loving it. The energy is electric. We're building something. We're going to change finance. My first task is routine. Audit the liquidity reserves. Make sure we have enough cash and crypto to cover customer withdrawals. Basic risk management. I run the numbers. Everything looks good. $42 billion in customer deposits. $38 billion in liquid reserves. $6 billion in the emergency wallet. Healthy cushion. I submit my report. Nathan calls me into his office. Great work, Tessa. This is exactly what I needed. You're going to be critical to our growth. He hands me an access card. Unrestricted building access. You're in a circle now. That means you see everything. Customer data, trading algorithms, transfer protocols. The only rule is discretion. What you see here stays here, always. And he says it with a smile. But there's something in his eyes, something hard. I should ask what happened to my predecessor, the woman who had this job for 11 months before me. HR said she found a better opportunity. They wouldn't give me her contact info, but I don't ask. The signing bonus already cleared. Third week, I'm processing invoices. Standard AP work. I see a payment for $4.7 million. Payee, Consulting Services LLC. No address, no contact person, no description of services rendered. Just a wire transfer to an account in the Cayman Islands. I asked the CFO about it. Routine operational expense, he says. Don't worry about it. I'm the director of risk analytics. Worrying about it is literally my job. I search our vendor database. Consulting Services LLC doesn't exist. No contract, no statement of work. In no deliverables. I search the Cayman account. It's linked to 12 other shell companies, all receiving regular transfers from Orion, all with the same registration address, a UPS store in Delaware. I mention it to Nathan, casually, just trying to understand our subsidiary structure. His face changes. The warmth disappears. Tessa, your job is to monitor customer liquidity and market risk, not to audit my business structure. These entities are part of a tax optimization strategy designed by our attorneys. It's above your clearance level. Don't ask about it again. It's not a suggestion. It's an order. I stop asking, but I don't stop noticing. Week 7. I'm reviewing customer support tickets, flagged complaints. There's a pattern. Customers trying to withdraw large amounts, over 1 million. The withdrawals are approved. But they take weeks to process, sometimes a month. The customers get angry. Support tells them it's regulatory compliance. AML checks, standard procedure. I check the actual AML protocols. Large withdrawals should take 48 hours maximum. I check the wallet transactions. The funds aren't being held for compliance. They're being moved. transferred to those shell companies, then slowly returned to cover the withdrawal. We're using new customer deposits to pay old customer withdrawals. That's not a liquidity delay, that's a Ponzi scheme. I tell myself I'm wrong, I have to be wrong. Nathan Cross is on the cover of Forbes. Orion has $15 billion in assets. We're audited by a Big Four accounting firm. There's no way. But the numbers don't lie. I start keeping notes, not on my work computer, on my personal laptop, at home. I document every suspicious transfer, every delayed withdrawal, every shell company payment. 3 months in, I find the hedge fund, Chimera Capital Management, Nathan's personal fund. He started it 2 years ago. It's supposed to be completely separate from Orion, Chinese wall. That's what he told regulators. That's what he told investors. I access the transfer records. Orion has moved $3.2 billion to Chimera over 18 months. Customer funds, moved to Nathan's private fund, used as collateral for leveraged crypto trades. And Chimera is losing, badly, down 62%, $2 billion gone. He's been using customer deposits to cover his hedge fund losses, moving money back and forth, cooking the books. And I'm the one who's supposed to be monitoring risk. If this comes out, I'm not just a witness. I'm complicit. My signature is on the liquidity reports. My name is on the risk assessments. His lawyers will say I knew, that I helped, that I'm just as guilty. That night I can't sleep. I pull up the whistleblower statute. I read it 5 times. Original source evidence, direct knowledge, proof. I have proof, pages of it. But I obtained it through my job, through access Nathan gave me. His lawyers will say I stole it, that I violated my NDA, that I'm disgruntled, unreliable, a liar. The next morning, Nathan announces an all-hands meeting. Record quarter, he says. $2 billion in new deposits, $50 million in revenue. We're opening an office in Singapore, expanding to Europe. He's giving everyone bonuses, 10% of salary. I get $24,000. After taxes, $16,000. Blood money. I deposit the check. Because I'm a coward, because I need it, because I tell myself maybe I'm wrong, maybe there's an explanation. I'm not wrong. Week 19. New hire starts. Marcus. 24 years old, bright kid, fresh CPA. He's assigned to help me with the quarterly audit. Second day, he's reviewing the shell company transfers. He walks into my office. Tessa, these Cayman accounts, they don't match the cash flow statements. Where's the money actually going? I tell him it's tax optimization. Don't worry about it. He keeps digging. I watch him, pulling reports, cross-referencing wallets. He's going to find it. The same thing I found. Third day, security escorts him out. HR says he didn't pass his background check. I recommended Marcus. I know his background. It's clean. That afternoon, I get an email. No sender. Subject line, I'm Marcus asked too many questions. Body, you're smarter than he was. Aren't you, Tessa? Someone is watching what I look at, what I ask, what I know. My computer is monitored. My access is logged. Every click tracked. The smart thing is to stop. Keep quiet. Keep the $240,000 salary. Keep my head down. But I already crossed a line. I already have the evidence. Encrypted, backed up, hidden. And Nathan Cross doesn't forgive lines being crossed. Month 5, I'm in the executive server. Nathan left his laptop unlocked. He's in Singapore for the launch. I have 4 hours before he'll notice. I copy everything. The real balance sheets, the transfer records, the shell company structures, the Chimera trades, the customer complaints that were deleted, the AML violations that were covered up. $8.4 billion. That's what he's moved. From customer accounts to his hedge fund. Most of it gone. Lost in bad trades. Leverage liquidations. Positions he couldn't close. We have $42 billion in customer deposits on the books. We have $33.6 billion in actual reserves. The difference? His hedge fund losses. I export the files. Encrypted USB drive. I'm breaking a dozen laws, violating my NDA, accessing unauthorized systems. If they catch me, I go to jail. But if I don't act, when this collapses, 50,000 customers lose everything. Pensions, savings, money they can't afford to lose. And Nathan walks away, blames it on market conditions, regulatory overreach, bad luck. I close the laptop, clear the logs, walk out like nothing happened. That night, the news runs a story. Orion Capital announces $500 million stock buyback. Nathan Cross increases executive compensation, record bonuses. I've seen the real numbers. He funded those bonuses by stealing customer deposits, by gambling with money that wasn't his, by lying to regulators, investors, and customers. The elevator doors open. Nathan is standing there, back early from Singapore, smiling. Great work this quarter, Tessa. I'm giving you a $50,000 bonus. You've earned it. I thank him. I take it. Because I'm still pretending, still playing the game. I deposit the check that afternoon. I contact the FBI that night. Agent Sarah Chen meets me at a coffee shop in Brooklyn. Neutral ground. I bring printed documents, 300 pages, transfer records, balance sheets, shell company registrations, emails. The evidence is overwhelming. She listens for 2 hours, takes notes, asks careful questions. At the end, she's quiet for a long time. This is substantial, she says. If half of this holds up, we're looking at the biggest crypto fraud since FTX. But I need to be clear about what happens next. You'll be deposed, definitely sued. Your NDA means Nathan's lawyers will come after you personally. You'll be unemployable in finance. Your name will be public. And cases like this take years of legal limbo. Are you sure? I think about my career, the apartment, the salary, the life I built. I think about my parents, how proud they were when I got this job. I think about the 50,000 customers who trusted Orion with their money, who have no idea it's gone. I'm sure, I say. I'm not sure, not even a little, but I say it anyway. And that was 4 months ago, which brings us back to tonight. 2:13 a.m., the liquidity stress test showing an $8.4 billion hole. My access gets revoked. My supervisor wants to see me. They're going to fire me. Maybe worse. I call Agent Chen. It's happening, I tell her. The collapse, it's starting now. We're ready, she says. We've been building the case. We have subpoenas prepared. We move tomorrow. Tomorrow might be too late. By tomorrow, Nathan will have moved money, destroyed evidence, fled to a country without extradition. I forward her the real-time liquidity data, the current hole, the routing records showing where the money went. It's the last piece she needs. I hit send. 473 pages of evidence, 8.4 billion in fraud, Nathan Cross's entire empire. And then I hear footsteps in the hallway outside my office, 2:15 a.m. No one should be here. I close my laptop. The footsteps stop outside my door. My phone buzzes. Email from Nathan. Subject line, we need to talk. Body, my office. Now, he knows. I don't know how, but he knows. I walk to his office, the same office from the beginning of this story, where he'll offer me $2 million, where I'll refuse. He's sitting in the dark, just the city lights through the window. Sit down, Tessa. I sit. He opens his laptop, turns it toward me. It's showing my access logs. Every file I opened, every search I ran, every piece of evidence I copied. You've been busy, he says. Very thorough. I'm actually impressed. You found things even the CFO doesn't know about. I say nothing. Here's what's going to happen, he continues. Tomorrow, we announce a withdrawal pause. Technical issues. We blame our banking partners. We have 3 weeks to close the gap. I'm liquidating assets, selling positions. We're going to be fine, but we need silence. Complete silence. He slides the document across the desk. The severance agreement I already told you about, $2 million. You take this, you walk away clean. Rich, no lawsuits, no criminal exposure. You found a better opportunity. That's the story. He leans forward. Or you don't take it, and I bury you. Corporate espionage. Theft of trade secrets. You accessed systems without authorization, copied proprietary data, violated your NDA. I have lawyers who will make you radioactive. You'll never work again. You'll drown in legal fees, and you'll lose. Because courts don't like disgruntled employees who steal data. And even if they think they have good reasons, $2 million, Tessa, or a life of litigation and poverty. Choose. I look at the severance agreement, $2 million. I could pay off my loans, buy my parents a house, never worry about money again. I look at Nathan, at his calm face, his certainty that I'll take it, that everyone has a price. I think about the 50,000 customers, the ones who'll wake up tomorrow and find their accounts frozen, their savings gone, no warning, no explanation. I stand up. I'm not signing. Nathan's face goes cold. You're making a mistake. I've made a lot of mistakes, I say. This isn't one of them. I walk out. I don't run. I walk, slowly, like I'm not terrified. I go home. I don't sleep. At 6 a.m., the news breaks. Orion Capital pauses all withdrawals, technical difficulties. And they're working with banking partners to resolve the issue. By 8 a.m., Twitter is on fire. Customers are panicking, comparing it to FTX, to Celsius, to every crypto fraud that came before. By 10 a.m., the FBI raids Orion's offices. The same scene I described at the beginning. Agents in windbreakers, boxes of documents. Nathan is led out in handcuffs. Agent Chen calls me. We got him. Thanks to your evidence. He's charged with wire fraud, securities fraud, conspiracy. He's looking at 20 years. I should feel relief, victory. I feel nothing, just exhausted. The SEC investigation takes 9 months. The criminal trial takes 14. Nathan's lawyers are exactly as vicious as promised. They sue me personally. $25 million, breach of contract, theft of trade secrets, defamation. And I have $8,000 in my bank account and a public defender. Nathan pleads guilty to avoid trial, part of a deal. He returns $4.2 billion to customer accounts, 40 cents on the dollar. He pays a $200 million fine. He gets 5 years in prison. He serves 18 months. White-collar facility, tennis courts. He's out on good behavior. His net worth before the case, $2.1 billion. After fines and restitution, $900 million. He's still a billionaire. He's already started a new venture, AI trading, completely reinvented. The 50,000 customers who lost money, they got an average of $8,000 back. After lawyer fees, some got nothing. Their accounts were too small to matter. I haven't worked in finance in 2 years. No one will hire me. Background checks flag my name. Litigation risk, whistleblower, disloyal. I work at a legal aid clinic now, the same $42,000 a year job I mentioned earlier. I help people file wage theft claims, fight predatory lenders, navigate bankruptcy. My student loans are back in deferment. I live in a studio in Bushwick. I take the train. I buy store-brand groceries. Sometimes I see Nathan on the news. New startup, new investors, redemption arc. He did his time. He's learned from his mistakes. He's giving back. People ask if it was worth it. If I'd do it again, I don't know. Honest answer, I don't know. But I know I can sleep at night. I know I can look at myself in the mirror. I know that $8,000 made a difference to people who had nothing left. That's worth something, I think. The system protects people like Nathan Cross. In 18 months for $8 billion in fraud. Out in time for Christmas. New venture funded by VCs who don't care, or don't remember, or think everyone deserves a second chance. Unless you're the one who exposed them, then you're marked for life. But silence protects him even more. If I'd taken the $2 million, if I'd signed the NDA, if I'd walked away, he'd still be running Orion, still stealing, still lying, and 50,000 more people would have lost everything. So I chose to speak. I lost my career, my income, my future in the industry. He lost 18 months and made it all back. And I'd still make the same choice because the alternative was being able to afford my life and not being able to live with myself.